Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. Now it's real time, sponsored by the Mill Casino.
Welcome back, everyone. We've got Jody Smith from Jody Smith Guide Service. It's been way too long since we've had the last time to check in with Jody, but every year I'm lucky enough to get him to slow down for a minute or so and just share a little insight when turkey season begins. And now we can talk a little bit about that preseason stuff. But first things first, man, how you been?
Busy and wet.
I bet. What have you been doing up to this point? Now things are going to change for you. You got turkey all over the place, and I know that you're probably booked out for your clients, but what have you been up to now?
We got a bunch of cattle that are calving right now. Then I've got my elk lease. I've got a bear hunt starting the first of the season down there for spring. So I've been running down and kind of taking care of that a little bit and trying to get ready for turkey season and getting everything, all my ducks in a row.
No pun intended. Yes, your turkey season's always very busy. What's it looking like for you down there in your neck of the woods? How'd things go as far as their hatch for this year?
It was a really good hatch. A lot of turkeys, and it's amazing. They're kind of spreading out more. I'm seeing them in places I haven't seen them in the past. I'm downtown Coos Bay. There's a lot more down toward Reedsport. They weren't really along the coastal communities as much as they are that I've seen this year. I mean, there's some in Lakeside, and there's very good hatch. They've been very vocal. The hens are nesting already, so.
Wow.
Is
that early, Jody?
A little early, yeah. They kind of move off, and I've been seeing the hens. I don't know if they're nesting, but they're definitely laying right now. But, yeah, especially the weather. I mean, it's been wet, really wet.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the hens are off in the trees.
Well, that's interesting. I wonder what it might be like over on the east side of the state as opposed to the west side, because he does live on the west side of the state, everyone, if you're unaware of where he's at. They call it the turkey capital of, well, the West Coast, from what I understand. So what's your plan? What do you like to do before all your clients start to show up when this thing kicks off in the middle of April? I'm sure you're out there scouting and doing the typical things because you have that kind of opportunity, but what is it that you try to focus in on before that opening day?
Just getting numbers mostly. Trying to figure out how many toms are in each ranch. I try to get like 50% of the matured birds that are on the ranch every year. So some places have really good numbers and other places maybe are down a little bit from the year before. So try to figure that out, see if the storm has damaged anything on the ranches that make maybe their behaviors a little bit different, and checking the blinds, the decoys, the calls, and all that good stuff.
Well, for some of the folks that are out there watching that hunt other part of the states, what would be your advice? Say they're going out to, like myself, would be public land. We need to try to figure out what's going on. Is there any advice that you can give them on how they might be able to narrow it down a little bit to maximize their time for scouting before that season starts?
Trail cameras. If you can get out there, trail cameras are immensely useful for turkeys. I mean, they're very easy to pattern on private property. I mean, they'll come the same place within 10 minutes from day to day to day to day to day. Just scout them and figure out where they are as much as you can before the hunt starts. Gives you a real advantage.
So just finding them in the same regions. Would you say that if somebody were to go out a week prior to the season starting, could they be confident that those birds would still be in that same area on that opening day, or at least that week later?
On private property, they haven't changed. In 20 years, I could take you to a ranch and show you where they're going to roost, not being there all year this year, and they're going to be in the same spot. I don't know about the public with the pressure and everything else, but on the private, yes, they're very habit forming. They just do the same things over and over and over.
So this is 2025. Every year is a little bit different as far as what you like to utilize when you're talking about either decoys or gear, ammunition, different sorts of blinds that you like to use. Decoys, I may have mentioned that already. Anything new that you changed up from last year to this year?
A lot of my blinds are the see-through kind now, that are completely see-through. That helps a lot, because if I have a client in the blind, I tell them, don't be peeking out the windows. It doesn't matter if they're to your left. You can't shoot till they get in front, but they can't help. They gobble right beside the blind, and they crack the window open, the turkeys see him and then go away. So the blinds help a lot because you can see out the front and both sides. So you don't have to open a window. You can see good enough. Those have helped with success quite a bit.
See-through blinds. Now, everyone, he's talking about you can see out. The turkeys can't see in. But you can see all around you. So it's a new technology that's come out here recently in the last couple of years. Were you messing with those last year, or is this going to be new for you?
No, a couple years ago I did, but a friend of mine brought one, and it was very, very bright and sunny, and we were out in the middle of the field, and the turkeys actually saw us moving through it. So I thought, these aren't any good.
Right.
But they saw a little bit of movement in there. But if you put them in any kind of a shadow or any place where you typically set up, I've had them walk right beside you, and it's so much easier to sit in there because you can watch. I mean, you don't have to be. It's a lot easier to spend more time in the blind, and it gets you prepared if the turkey's coming, because a lot of times they come in silent, and I can see them because I don't usually sit in the blind. I'm behind the hunters, but if the client can see them, they can get up, get ready, and it's a big advantage.
Interesting. I haven't been in one yet. Well, to be very honest with you, Jody, the last time I was in a blind like that was with you. In a
It's been a while.
It's been a while in a rainstorm, and I couldn't have loved that blind anymore because it was so wet out there. So there's certainly some advantages. Anything different as far as your ammunition or anything that you're doing different there this year? I know that you were specific with your clients in the past.
Yeah, that TSS stuff is incredible. I've been doing the 7 to 9. It just melts bird. It folds them very well, patterns well. A lot of clients have been doing the 410s the last couple of years, and
wow.
they work good with that TSS. They shot one at 47 yards last year.
Wow.
With a 410, and that's about. There hasn't been anything. I got the same decoys, but almost exclusively the TSS shot now. 7 to 9, somewhere in that range. That's about it. Everything else is about the same.
What are you running for your decoys this year?
Either Dave Smith or AVNX.
Okay, so
I have both. Sometimes if I'm a long ways away, I'll take one set and leave them in the blind for the hunt the next day. It doesn't really seem to matter which ones. AVNX are a little bit smaller, so they're easier to pack. And they both have really, really good finishes. And I'm running a full strut and a hen.
Okay, that was my next question. What's your combination?
I could tell.
Now, you mentioned that you got birds that are already starting to nest up a little bit. If folks are out there and they're running into that same situation, when you get out there that opening weekend, are you going to be calling a lot? Are you going to be calling very little? What would your plan be or your thoughts going into that opening day?
If you're in public, I wouldn't call a whole bunch because you're probably just going to call in another hunter. I've slowed down a whole lot on how much I call, especially if you can see them. If I call and the turkeys are responding and coming to me, I won't call again. I'll just let them come and come and come and come and come. Yeah, I used to call a lot.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah, I've slowed way down on it, and it seems like my success has got a little bit better. I don't know if from a lot of my clients, I'm blessed to take a lot of clients from different states that are very, very good turkey hunters, and I've learned a tremendous amount from them. And they all call a lot less than I was. So I thought, maybe I should try that.
So for some of those out there that are thinking that they need to call a lot, can you give me an explanation why you think that is? Slowing it down might be an advantage?
A lot of times the birds are so vocal, so if he's gobbling, you kind of feel like you should give it a call every time he gobbles. But actually, a lot of times when they're gobbling and gobbling and gobbling like that, if they call another hen in to them, which is how it works in the turkey world, the hens go to the toms, you're done. So if you called a couple of times, make him come look for you instead of a hen coming to look for him.
Okay, makes perfect sense because their hearing is phenomenal. They can pin you down and know exactly where that sound came from, especially if they don't see a decoy or anything there. They get a little suspicious. Jody, I know that I always ask this question, and you always have the same response. Is there any room for anybody to get out there with you this year, or are you already booking for 26?
26.
Gotcha. But you did save me a day this year, right?
An afternoon, maybe.
See? Now I'm getting closer, everyone.
Yeah, I don't have a single day off in May.
That's just crazy, man. When he mentioned that he's got some of the best turkey hunters from around the country coming, it's true. People in states that are buried in turkeys come here to go hunt with Jody. I love that story. If you ever did have that opportunity, take full advantage of it when you get out there with Jody. And let him know you saw it here on GPS. Jody, thanks for just sharing a little bit of insight. Now get back out there and take care of your cattle.
I will do that. It's time to feed.
Thank you, Jody. Say hi to the wife.
Thanks, Owen.
Say hi to the wife for us all, please.
Will do. Take care.
Take care, sir. All right, we're going to cut to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have a quick phone call that we're going to take Phil from Canby, and then we're going to start our conversation talking about the Columbia River with Bill Monroe Jr. from Bill Monroe Outdoors. We'll be right back.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Chevy Silverado and the impressive Turbo Max engine. Flex your muscle with the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. Official truck of Outdoor GPS.